What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic, bringing you our Week 4 battle for the BBR. Today, we are facing off against the New Britain Rockruffs and our opponent, Diet Timer, if you will. Make sure to go and check out Die, guys. He's a really awesome guy. He is streaming a lot more on Twitch, so honestly, he's a great follow on Twitch, so I recommend it very, very highly. He's also the PR guy, power rankings guy for the NCP, so make sure to go check him out for that as well. But this is going to be the BBR Week 4. We are sitting here with a record of 2-1 after a dominant 5-0 win last week on the back of Raikou. Oh my god. Well, we just have to come back and try and do it again, don't we? As always, guys, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you have not already, hit that subscribe button, then do us both a favor and subscribe to the channel for more amazing competitive Pokemon content. But let's go ahead and jump into it. You guys see my opponent's team there. Very threatening. I'm hoping that we can kind of play around it because, oh my god, like look, Mew, Weavile, Como, that's Como without Clangor Soul, by the way. No Clangor Soul, fantastic. But there's also a Tornadus Eye, which is problematic because of the Urshifu that I have on my team. But he also happens to have a Jellicent, which, I mean, is immune to water moves, so Scald for my Raikou becomes a bit of a problem. I also can't just say, alright, go Swampert and click Flip Turn on everything. Can't really do that anymore. It also gets Strength Stab, Will-O-Wisp, that's a very big problem to have. It is week 2 Dark, which is nice for Wicked Blow, but it can probably and will in all likelihood run a Colbur Berry, so I feel pretty strongly about that. Sandslash is there as a possibility as well. He definitely needs to bring an electric immunity, in my opinion, and his only 2 immunities are the Sandslash and the Dodler. After that, he has like 1 resist, and it's the Como, which is nuts because, well, he has a Roselia as well, but other than that, it's like we can just Volt Switch freely. We also have Extra Sensory to hit the Como and the Roselia for super effective damage. We have Scald to hit the Sandslash and the Trapinch, so I'm feeling like really good about that. He needs to bring the Sandslash, in my opinion. I think it's a very likelihood that he does because it prevents him from being beaten by webs, and the second thing is that it stops him from just getting Volt Switched around on by the Raikou, and that's going to make Raikou a really big threat if he doesn't end up bringing it, so I wouldn't be surprised if Raikou gets thumbnail for the second straight week. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting with our first Mon, you guys know it, you guys love it. It is our Urshifu Single Strike, the captain of the team. Didn't even hit the field last time around, if I'm not mistaken at least. It has a really weird EV spread. We actually have 205 in our stat total in our HP with our investment of 236 in HP, and that what it does is it gives me the ability to have a substitute that is not broken by Nightshade or Seismic Toss, and I find that to be very useful because my opponent does have a Jellicent that runs Nightshade. He does have a Seismic Toss using Redisteel, so I felt like that was probably the best bet for me to have in this situation. We also have to be pretty fast still. I have speed for an Adamant Mew, which just also happens to outspeed a Como. The most important thing is to outspeed the Como, that's number 1. But in case he's not running Jolly or Timid on his Mew, then I can guarantee outspeed that as well, fire off a Wicked Blow, get the KO on that, which is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it means I only have room for 92 EVs in my attack, so I'm not hitting that hard, but with bulk up and with my stab options of close combat and Wicked Blow, I should be able to hit everything for fantastic damage. I would not be surprised if he decides to run a very physically defensive Como with like body press and bulk up and whatnot, or iron defense and drain punch and whatever. Basically, it's just a really strong set that he could run to kind of counteract me because it does resist the Wicked Blow. It's very bulky on the defensive side, so close combat won't be doing too much unless I'm like at +1, maybe even +2, honestly. But yeah, if I get to +2 and I have a sub up, then it's gonna be very hard for him to beat me at all. Even if I get the +1, it should be very difficult for him to beat me because I have a sub up, so I feel pretty good about that. Our next Mon is going to be our Raikou here. Sabermetrics is amazing. I was so happy with how it performed last week, and even the week before it did really well, so I'm hoping that I can continue that trend of being really solid. We are running a kind of a I don't want to say a trolley set. I definitely have another set in the back that I could run, but I feel like for this week, it might be pretty good to go with the route of Thunder Wave. So I'm running Volt Switch, Scald, Discharge, and T-Wave, and the reason why I'm running the T-Wave is because I want to make sure I can paralyze the faster threats than my Urshifu specifically, but also something like the Mew so it can't just sweep me. I would maybe run Toxic, but Toxic doesn't help me out that much against something like the Weavile. It doesn't help me that much against something like the Redisteel. It doesn't help me that much against something like even the Tornadus. And Tornadus, yeah, I'd probably go for a Volt Switch against, but let's say he expects a switcher like, I don't know, an Aura Sphere or whatever, then he might go into the Tornadus, who knows. But still, Thunder Wave is more important because it gives me that speed control, which I really want, allowing me to get in my Raikou as many times as possible and fire off magnet boosted Volt Switches or Discharges. If I manage to paralyze the Mew with Thunder Wave or Discharge, Synchronize will actually pop, but it won't affect me because I'm electric type, so I can't get paralyzed, which is part of the reason why I want to run Thunder Wave specifically on Raikou. I might have expected to run Extrasensory. I was thinking about running Aura Sphere as well, but I felt like this was the best option to go with. I do lose out on a bit of power by going with Discharge over T-Bolt, but Discharge just gives me that extra added benefit of potentially paralyzing something, because if he tries to make a 50-50, instead of going into Jellicent or Sandslash expecting maybe a Scald or a Volt Switch, and he goes into Registeel or he goes into Mew, and I get the paralysis with the Discharge, oh my god, it's just huge. And at the same time, Como resists both my moves, the Volt Switch, the Scald, the Discharge, but it can still get paralyzed. And if it does, it almost shuts down an Autotomize set, a Rock Polish set, a Dragon Dance set. I'm cool with that. It shuts down basically any set that is not like Band or Specs or Throat Spray or your defensive, basically. So I'm happy with that. The Magnet just gives me that extra bit of power. I kind of didn't really know what else to run on it. Honestly, if I had done a bit more mocking, if I had a bit more time this week, I just started working again, so I can't really I couldn't go as in depth as I would normally have liked. But if I was running another item, I don't know what it would be. I'd have to go in more in depth and figure it out, but Magnet does give me a ton of extra boost, a bit of oomph in my attack, and really making it so I can get the efficient KOs I want on the Jellicent, on the Registeel, on the Tornadus specifically, so I feel pretty good about that. That is going to be our Raikou. Moving on, we have, making its debut this season, Too Spooky, the Haunter. We are running a Choice Scarf Haunter with Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Dazzling Gleam, and Trick. This is a really, really good set. It reaches base 95 speed, so it's almost as fast as Urshifu, but it can still reach the same benchmarks that Urshifu does, meaning it can outspeed a Adamant Mew, or an Adamant or Modest Mew, of course, and at the same time it outspeeds Como. So if he's running a Scarf Como, or he gets a +1 from Dragon Dance, I can still fire off a Dazzling Gleam that will OHKO it because it's 4 times weak to Fairy, and I have an insane 115 special attack. Shadow Ball hits the Mew for super effective damage, doing a ton to it. If he's not running Bulletproof on Como, we can still hit that thing, so we'll know right away. Is he Soundproof? Is he Bulletproof? Is he Overcoat? What is he going to be? Sludge Wave hits things like the Wigglytuff. Obviously, I can't click it if he has the Registeel out, and I have Trick there because if I trick the Jellicent, the Registeel, the Sandslash even, and it's locked into Knockoff or a Rapid Spin or whatever, the Trapinch, the Dottler, the Roselia, the Wigglytuff, and it's locked into something that isn't Dazzling Gleam, then it makes it so much easier to just basically go into my Urshifu and click buttons and win the game and set up, right? So I feel like that was the best option there, to have Trick as my final move. Obviously not the greatest move to have as my last one in the world, because I felt like if I had that option, if I went with that, then it wasn't going to be, let's put it this way. If I went with the Choice Scarf, then my final Pokemon you're going to see isn't as valuable, but if I don't get up my webs, spoilers, then honestly, Scarf is going to be really good. I prefer, honestly, to run Life Orb, but I can't, just in case he's running a random Scarfer that outspeeds me, or I don't get up my webs. End of story. He has a lot of really good defoggers. He has Prankster Defog in the, what is it called, the Tornadus. He has Rapid Spin in Sandslash. He also has Mew, one of the best defoggers in the game. So I had to go with it. That's what it is. It is what it is. Moving on to our next Mon. Now, Mon number 4 is going to be the Metagross here. Metagross was running the Bandit set this week. I really wasn't sure what set I want to run. Bandit is good. I would love to run Life Orb, but I can't afford to take the 10%. I just can't. It's not possible. My investment here is 92 in HP, and then enough speed on this set. We reach 111, which is enough speed for Mew creeping Urshifu while it's at -1. Again, that's a calc based on webs. If webs are up, amazing. We outspeed that thing no matter what. I don't feel that it needs to kind of outspeed the Weavile while it's at -1, and if I do, I have to invest so much, an incredible amount, to make sure I can outspeed that thing, so really was not my best interest. The issue with this Pokemon is Jellicent is a pretty obvious and free bring here, even though I have the Urshifu, even though I have the Raikou, even though I have an Appleton and a Haunter and a Vullaby and a Freeze-Dry using Cryogonal. I think it's a pretty free bring for him because it's that bulky, and that kind of walls this set. The only dark move I get is Brutal Swing, and that's 60 base power. Not good enough. And I wanted a way to really hit multiple things. The issue is, it's just not enough, it's not strong enough. So I felt like I had to go with Thunder Punch. And if I go with Thunder Punch, if he brings the Sandslash, if he brings the Trapinch, then it's basically just free reign for them. So if he brings Trapinch, I basically cannot click Thunder Punch until that thing is gone. That's a fact, because I do not want to lose my Metagross for basically no reason. Not happening. I refuse to let that happen. Other than that, Meteor Mash and Bullet Punch hit basically everything. Bullet Punch is there for the Weavile, super effective damage. With a Band, it should do a shit ton to the Como if it's not boosted at it's out the ass by his defense, so I feel good about that. And it also does a decent chunk of damage to the Tornadus Eye, and that is basically the plan. Metagross is there to cause problems, come in on something like the Sandslash, the Registeel, the Wigglytuff, the Dottler, even the Weavile to an extent. We should take an Adamant or a Jolly knockoff from a Life Orb Weavile. Pretty sure about that. I got double checked, but at the end of the day, he's not going to stay in on a banded Bullet Punch. He can't afford it. So I feel good about that. This is our set for the Metagross. Moving on to our next Mon, it is going to be the return of Deanne, our first mon that I had ever built for a single battle in the BBR this season. I built this set before I built the Urshifu in week 1 against D-Ray. Unfortunately, we did lose that game, so maybe Diancie is a bad luck charm. Who knows? But I am running another set of sweeping Diancie. Why? Well, webs. I have webs on this team. That is the last mon. So why not go with an option that is going to really put a lot of pressure on my opponent's team for webs? So this set has speed for anything creeping an adamant Como while it's at -1 from webs. That is the plan there. So Como reaches whatever it reaches. I kind of forget. I think Como reaches like, let me think. It reaches 152 or 151 when it's a timid set or a jolly set. I gotta double check that. Como level 50. I'm playing with the calcs right now. I haven't done my slides yet, so you guys are getting a little bit of live building, live note taking. But Como level 50 reaches 150 if it's jolly. It reaches 137 if it is adamant. So if I was running a set that wanted to outspeed that, I want to get to 138, then he at -1, that set would get to 92, perfect, and we are at 93 speed with our Diancie with our investment in the speed stat. It is a lot of investment. It's 180 EVs, which is important because there are a lot of things that do get steal coverage on his team. The Mew gets it. The what is it called? I'm trying to think of the name of it. The Como gets Iron Head and Flash Cannon. The Weavile gets Iron Tail, I believe, in Metal Claw. Tornadus gets Iron Tail. Red Steel gets Iron Head. There's a lot that gets it. Like Jellicent has Skull. Sandslash has Earthquake. Basically everything hits me for super effective damage, but it's still a really good set because with Moonblast and Earth Power, we hit basically everything on my opponent's team for amazing damage. The only reason I have Diamond Storm there, and again, I want to preface this, the only reason I have Diamond Storm there is because I want to try and get that +2 defense boost. If I can like guarantee a KO on, let's say it's the Tornadus or something with Diamond Storm, I'm just going to click Diamond Storm. There's no reason for me not to, because if I can get that 50% boost, oh my god, it's going to make living hits so much easier, especially because I don't have any rock polish this week, so that's just the plan there. Going to be really, really cool to run in this set. Dian is back. The leftovers are there for a little bit of extra recovery. We'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed that Dian can put in work this time around. Our next mon, our final mon, you guys know it. You guys love it. Beep, beep, the bus is back. That's what I'm talking about. Volt Switch, Skitter Smack, Thunder Wave, and Sticky Web. The same exact move pool that I had the last time around. Skitter Smack is there because it hits the Mew for super effective damage, but also weakens its special attack by 1 stage. In case it's running a Calm Mind set, we can make sure it's not getting too much out of hand. We also have Thunder Wave to kind of like slow that thing down too. Como, it also hits that thing. We can kind of weaken its special defense, or special attack rather, making it not hit as hard because I believe it doesn't get any special attack boosting moves outside of Clangorous Soul and Throat Spray, which again, it's only a one-time boost, so that's great. But other than that, I didn't feel like X's was going to be the best play. I felt like the utility that Skitter Smack provided was more valuable. Volt Switch for momentum, Thunder Wave to weaken things. I can paralyze the Weavile, which is great. The Como, even better. Tornadus, I probably would go for Volt Switch against. I think this one is less likely to run Taunt than the one D-Ray had, so we'll see, but it could definitely be more likely to run Defog, that's for sure. And then webs are important. The investment on this set, you guys see 244 HP, 164 defense with a relaxed nature, and then 100 in special defense. What that does is it gives me enough special defense for a Life Orb Heat Wave after rocks from the Tornadus. Weird calc, I know, but I felt like having that just in case might be kind of valuable to get off a Thunder Wave, then fire off a Volt Switch, or make sure I can guarantee get up webs and whatnot, and just getting that done. But at the same time, I'm likely going to hit Volt Switch against it because I want to make sure that it's weakened to the point, or weakened enough, maybe even O-code, to the point that my Urshifu doesn't have to worry about it outspeeding me, especially if I have webs up. If I have webs up first time, oh my god, Urshifu with webs up behind a sub, oh, that's what I was missing in the GDL with this Pokemon. Guys, this is going to be our team for this week's battle. Bit of a longer builder. I appreciate you guys' patience with that. But thank you guys for watching the builder. Again, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we cannot do it without you. Make sure also, by the way, guys, look, I love when I get comments from you guys. It's my favorite thing in the world. So do me a massive favor. Comment down below if you guys think I missed any sets that I could potentially done really good work against my opponent's team. Also, let me know what you guys think about the battle as well. I really do appreciate your comments. That's my favorite thing, responding to them. I do respond to every single one of them. So just comment away and I'll be happy to answer. Thanks for watching the Team Builder. Let's go ahead and jump into the battle. All right, everyone, welcome back. So we are playing on Showdown once again. Unfortunately, for the foreseeable future, it looks like Showdown is going to be where we're going to be having most of our battles. I don't know why land mode isn't working for me, but it isn't. Also, I'm recording these battles now right before I go to work. It is literally the only time that I can record it without whispering, and it's so frustrating because we are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I cannot believe that I have to do this to kind of, this is going to be the content we have to do to get over that hump. Unfortunately, it feels like it's 2 steps back because we're not on Wi-Fi and it's not a live comm. But if you guys enjoy the content, if you guys enjoy the footage, if you guys enjoy the battles, make sure to do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But let's go ahead and jump into it. He ends up bringing the Mew, Como, the Registeel, the Weavile, the Jellicent, and the Sandslash. Now I can say for a fact, Como was definitely an expected bring to check the Urshifu. Mew is a definite bring because the setup set, a defensive set, is also very scary as well. Registeel needs to come in a way to check my Steel type and my my Diancie as well. Without the Registeel, it really honestly is difficult for him to beat those two things. The Sandslash is there because it's his only electric immunity outside of the Trapinch, and it's the only one that's really like reliable. It can get rocks, it can get spikes, it can get rapid spins to get rid of webs. Definitely expected there as well. Weavile priority outspeeds my entire team. Very scary mon, so I feel like he brought probably the most appropriate 6, and Jellicent is there as well as a way to kind of handle the Metagross. But it does look, however, that he did not really prep much for the Haunter based on this, so I'm thinking Haunter's going to go in. But I'm just going to go ahead and lead off with my Urshifu. Reason for that is because I'm expecting to lead off with the Registeel or with the Sandslash, both of which would get kind of, well, destroyed by my bulk up Urshifu. So I'm going to go ahead and lead off with the Urshifu as he leads off with the Sandslash. So thankfully we get that play right. I'm going to fire off a bulk up here because he's going to go into the Como pretty much expectedly. He's definitely going to do that as he just goes into the Como. Now unfortunately here I make kind of a misplay. My play here should be to go for a close combat. If I go for a close combat and he's max defense, max HP, then I'll actually take the body press at neutral. Seems like a positive there, right? I'll also do like, what, 60% to the Como, which is insane damage. Unfortunately for me, I do make a misplay, and the misplay is to go for a second bulk up. I don't know why I did that, honestly. It made no sense, and at this point in time, he can also get up a very, very free Iron Defense on me, and that's going to cause a lot of problems because now I decide to go for a Wicked Blow, which could do about the same amount as a Body Press would, or not Body Press, but Close Combat would, and he goes for his Body Press, doing 77% to me. That's insane. So basically, I could have gone off so much more damage on the Como than before, and I wouldn't have taken as much. Yeah, big misplay, and honestly, I feel like we're on the back foot really early on. That really sucks because now I can't really set up a sub against the Registeel, against the Sandslash, against even the Jellicent. So this wasn't really the best decision on my part and can really cost us late in the game. At this point, though, I have a pretty free switch into my Haunter here. Haunter is the play I'm going to be making here. The reason I'm doing that is because Haunter can kind of take any of the body press that might be coming out. It can take the Iron Defense, obviously, because it's not an attack. And it depends on what else he's running. He's not running Earthquake. Well, if he's running Earthquake, I'm not affected by it. But at this point in time, I have a very free trick because the Registeel, as you see, comes in. And I'm going to say I wasn't necessarily expecting the Registeel. I was expecting either the Registeel or the Sandslash, one of the two. But we get the trick off, and we forced to give us his Assault Vest. Huge, as we can now go into our Metagross as he doubles into his Weavile. Honestly, not the play I was expecting necessarily, but I will take it nonetheless. Now at this point in time, I do expect him to switch out, I believe, and he does switch out into the Jellicent as I fire off an Earthquake here. Now Earthquake was the play here, was pretty safe because if he decides to stay in with the Weavile and I'm not banded, I can still Oko that thing with the Bullet Punch. So really wasn't in his best interest to let his Weavile take all that damage, especially if it's Life Orb. I can KO it, I can chip it down to the point where it'll die to one Life Orb hit. So going into the Jellicent was the best play, and Earthquake just seems to be the best mid-ground because my only coverage options were the Meteor Mash, Bullet Punch, and the Thunder Punch. Anyways, he's going to stay in with the Jellicent here, probably go for a Strength Sap or Recover as I go into the Charge Bug. I see this as a very free time to get my webs, so he goes for the Recover, getting back his HP on the Jellicent. I go for my webs here as he goes hard into the Sandslash, and at this point, I do not want him to spin away my webs, so I'm going to go hard into my Haunter. Now, what does he do? He ends up going for the Stealth Rocks, which is not at all what I expected. I mean, he probably doesn't have the Rapid Spin, or he definitely expected the Haunter. But I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball here on the incoming Registeel. Not going to say I expected Registeel to come in, but it made a really... It was a good play for him to make. I go for another Shadow Ball here, trying to scout what he wants to do as he goes for the Iron Head, which is going to do a huge amount of damage, actually going to be able to 2 KOS. So I'm going to switch out hard into my Metagross, which can eat any one of these hits. You're going to see Iron Head from this Registeel to my Metagross. Again, Metagross is like 130 HP, or defense rather. It is nothing, and I can fire off a Meteor Mash here as he goes into Sandslash. Now, the reason I went for Meteor Mash specifically is because I know he wants to go into the Sandslash, and because he wants to get rid of webs. That's the big thing. I cannot let him get rid of webs. I do not want that happening. So going for the Meteor Mash was a no drawback play. If he goes into Jellicent, okay, he goes into Jellicent. No problem. I have my Charge Bug, I have my Raikou, I have my Diancie, I have my Urshifu. We're good. Not a problem at all. If he goes into Sandslash, we get off, what is that, 70, 60% to the Sandslash? That's huge damage, so I might as well try and take that risk. And at the same time, it does a huge amount of damage to the Registeel. He can't touch me back, so there's really no reason for me not to go for it. It was just a no drawback play all around. So I get the Meteor Mash off on the, what is that thing called? The Sandslash, and I can, I believe I go for yet another Meteor Mash here as he switches out into the Jellicent, and I'm hoping to get the boost, but unfortunately you're going to see we don't get the boost, so it is problematic. It sucks because we only do 29% to that thing, and he can just recover back all the HP as I go into my Raikou Raikou here expecting the not Thunderbolt, but the Ghost move to come out, but he goes for a Scald instead. Okay, no problem. He's now weakened. I can go for a free discharge on his team as he goes into his Como, which resists both of the attacking moves that I brought, Discharge, Volt Switch, and Scald. But I go for the Discharge and I paralyze it. Amazing. So this thing is now weakened substantially. I can go for a Volt Switch here, and I can go hard into my Charge Bug. Now, Charge Bug is my play because it resists the Body Press. I don't know what he's going to carry in terms of Dragon Claw or whatever, so I felt like this was my best option. He goes for the rest, though. So, unfortunate. By this point, I make a really good double, and I double out into the Diancie, expecting the Sand Slash, because again, Sand Slash wants to spin away my webs. So we get that play right. Amazing. And the good news is, Diancie, because we're so specially offensive, we do enough damage to Oko this thing if it's at like 75%, 70%. So that's huge that we can do, especially if it's max HP, by the way. We can get that KO, meaning it really isn't that much of a threat if we can keep making this double. The only way it's going to hurt us is if eventually Charge Bug goes down to rocks, and that's the big problem here. So I'm going to go for a free Moonblast here. Really is no downside. He probably goes into the Registeel. We get enough chip damage off on that thing to really force it to be weakened substantially. And again, no clear body pops, so we are going to be outsped. We are going to be outsped is what I want to say. I could go for the Earth Power, but again, he's going to outspeed us because of the Scarf that I gave him, so I'm going to go hard into my Metagross, expecting the incoming Steel move, but he makes a phenomenal play, and he goes straight for the Earthquake, doing enough to almost 2 KOs, and I can go for my Meteor Mash here, kind of expecting to switch into the Sand Slash, but also just kind of hoping to get a boost, and unfortunately we don't get the boost, and at the same time he goes for another Earthquake, chipping us down. Let me know, guys, if you think that was the right play, going for the Meteor Mash there over the Earthquake. I think Earthquake definitely had its merits. It did more than Meteor Mash would do to the Como because it is defensive, of course, and he can just recover all that damage with Rest, Sleep Talk, shenanigans, just same old stuff like that. Could be very annoying to deal with. It also would have done more damage to Mew in case he wanted to come in and start setting up on me, which would have been definitely problematic. Would have done more to the Jellicent as well if I went for the Earthquake instead. And honestly, Sand Slash would have probably died to the Earthquake. I think it was a no drawback play, but at the end of the day, it probably wasn't the most optimal one. I could have gone for the Earthquake, KO this thing, not taking all that chip damage on my Metagross, gotten whatever KO I wanted to get, and pretty much happy there. But at this point in time, it's unfortunate because he knows I'm banded from the damage he's doing. So he can go freely into his Weavile now, and Weavile can claim a KO because I'm at +1. I can't switch into Bullet Punch, I just can't, and he can go freely for the Ice Shard, and if he is not banded, there's a small roll for us to not get KO'd. Unfortunately, not banded, but not Life Orb. He is Life Orb. He does get the KO on us, meaning we lose our Metagross being our first mon to drop. But I go into the Raikou because we are we do webs up. We outspeed this thing, and I can go for a free discharge on the Weavile. Obviously, I am magnet boosted. I can do a ton of damage to it, and he ends up going into the Como, and I can now Volt Switch out once again, and I will be able to go hard into my Charge Bug for the second consecutive time. That is my play. I'm kind of conditioning him into doing that, thinking my play is to go into Charge Bug, but unfortunately I make the switch into Haunter because I just forgot things. The reason I did that was because I kind of noticed he has Rest and Sleep Talk and Body Press and Iron Defense. So a bit of a misplay in my brain there, but you see Haunter was definitely the right play there because I know he only has the Body Press. That's all he has. So I can go freely for a Dazzling Gleam, or I can make a play. And the play I can make is, do I go for Shadow Ball? If I go for Shadow Ball and I expect the Mew to come in, big benefit. If I expect the Sand Slash or the Jellicent to come in, amazing. If I expect the Weavile to come in, I go for Dazzling Gleam, but I decide to go for a Sludge Wave here. Now the reason I do that is because it kind of covers all my bases. It is more than Dazzling Gleam would do to Mew, meaning it can't just stall me out with Calm Mind, Roost, Recover, whatever. And it does more to the Como than Shadow Ball would because he could potentially have Bulletproof. So I go for the Sludge Wave here, expecting a switch to happen, but I don't know which one it is, as he rolls the Iron Defense on his Sleep Talk. So again, we know his set. Iron Defense, Rest, Sleep Talk, Body Press. He goes into the Weavile here. I expected the switch, I got it right, but I did not go for the Dazzling Gleam. So we ended up doing 59% of this thing, and this is very important. I cannot afford to let my Haunter go down. I just can't. If Haunter goes down, then I'm in big trouble, and the reason for that is because he only has Body Press on his Como, and Como can outright just sweep me because if I lose Haunter and I lose Diancie, then I lose to Como. 100%, unless I get really lucky with paralysis turns on the Como with Raikou. That's the only chance I have to beat that thing if I lose Haunter and Diancie. But anyways, he goes into the Weavile here. I'm going to pull a double into Charge Bug. This is the turn I want to go into Charge Bug here because at this point, it's kind of like I'm sacking it off in a way, but he goes for Ice Shard, doing a clean chunk of damage to me, but you're going to see he only has 3 hits left with Life Orb. He drops the 3rd hit, That's kind of what I want. I want to really chip him down as much as I possibly can, and that's kind of what we're doing here. So he's going to be able to switch out into the Sand Slash as I make another double, and I go hard into my Diancie. Again, this is the play that I want. I got into my Diancie. He does have back to over half HP now, but we're basically at full. We're going to be at full after this turn from our leftovers recovery, and I can fire off a Moonblast, and Diancie picks up a KO on this game. Amazing. Diancie was it was the MVP of my mocks for week 1, but it didn't really perform as well as I wanted to in the week 1 battle against D-Ray. But so far, it's just come in, really caused problems to my opponent's team, and now he is out of Fairy Resist. Amazing. But he's going to go here hard into his Mew here. Now, Mew is interesting. Now, again, my Diancie has speed for anything creeping, creeping an Adam and Como. That's what my Diancie has speed for, while under webs, of course. So we're not going to outspeed the Mew. But it doesn't mean I can't Calm Mind up on it, because unless it has a Steel move, it really can't beat me down. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind here, as he is also going to go for a Calm Mind. Now, I can tell you guys right now, this game's going to come down to whether or not he has Psyshock. If he has Psyshock, he's won, because he's going to be able to get to +6, I'm going to be able to get to +6. His Psyshock is going to do enough to pretty much Oko me, because it hits on the defensive side and on the specially defensive side, and that's pretty much going to be game. Unless, and only unless, I can weaken this thing to the point where Wicked Blow to a Colbur Berry holding Mew is going to get the KO. That's the only chance I have. Because I'm positive he's going to have like a Psychic move, Calm Mind, Roost, and then coverage. Probably Dazzling Gleam. Honestly, probably Dazzling Gleam. Maybe Aura Sphere, who knows? But again, I think Dazzling Gleam is going to be the way to go. But at this point in time, we're both now at +6 in our special attack and special defense. We can start firing off attacks. My play of choice, my move of choice can be the Moonblast here. 30% chance to drop his special attack. As his play is Psychic. Amazing. That is the best news I've had, because we do a ton of damage, and we have a 30% chance to drop his special attack, which we do just there. So he's now at +5, not +6. I can go for another Moonblast. You see, he does just about half damage to me with 2 Psychics, and we do 43%. So look, that roll there is nasty. We got like 35% as our first roll, or 38% as our first roll, and then 43% as our second roll. I can tell you that 38% was on the low roll. That's a low roll for a +6 Mew. Insane. But we can go for another Moonblast here, and you're going to see this play's going to go on for a while, is that he roosts up, and this is where it happens. But I go for Diamond Storm here, actually. The reason I went for Diamond Storm is in case he decides to get, well, KO'd, I can try and get the boost here. And the boost is important because if he goes into the Weavile, for example, Weavile can carry Iron Tail or Metal Claw or Triple Axle, and all those would do a ton of damage. It would also outspeed me. So I need to make sure I had a +2 defense boost. It would just be really useful to have. So I felt like the last move I would do to KO the Mew would be to go for the Diamond Storm. Only has APP, 50% chance to get the boost. I'm hoping that I can get just one. That's all I need. But I can resume here, and he goes for another Roost. The good news is I have 24 Moonblasts. He has 16 Roosts. That's all he has. So even though I used 2 before getting to the Mew, I can still install it. It takes about 2 Moonblasts to recover back whatever he needs for the Roost, but you're going to see here, we get a third special attack drop. He's now at +3. That's it. +3, we're at +6 defense. It's going to do no damage to me. He's got to really start going for Calm Minds again. But you're going to see, I can just Diamond Storm again, try and get my boost, and this time I get the boost on turn 42. But again, look, all I gotta do, just Moonblast, Moonblast, Moonblast. Kind of get tunnel vision in a way. There's really nothing else I can do here. One of us is gonna get a crit eventually. If I get the crit, I win. If he get the crit, unless he's like at this kind of HP where you see right now, where he's like max HP, he'll win because I have Urshifu in the back, which will outspeed. So I'm not gonna say a crit will win him the game, but it'll make it pretty close depending on his spread. You see, we get the 4th special attack drop here. Long game, I know. He gets back to +3 with a Calm Mind. We're just doing 40% to him on a regular basis. And we get the special attack drop again. Dude, there are mad drops happening. It's only 30% chance, but still, these are crazy amount. Like, it's a crazy amount of drops that we're getting. And honestly, had we not gotten the first drop that first turn, then it probably would have gone a little bit differently. But again, at this point in time, I'm just going to go for, I believe, an Earth Power this turn. The reason I do that is because I want to conserve some PP. Oh no, I'll go for Moonblast again. But eventually I start going for Earth Power. You guys get it. This is the problem with post-comms, because you guys can't really tell what I'm thinking of in the exact moment. I'm doing my best to replicate it. But you're going to see here at this point in time, Moonblast comes out again. Right now, I have, how many Moonblasts? I have 12 Moonblasts. He has 8 Roosts left. That's all he has, and we're just trying to make sure that he wears that Roost. That's 7 Roosts now that he has left. All I gotta do is make sure I have 1 Moonblast left over for the Como, and that's it. Everything else should drop to an Earth Power or a Diamond Storm. Actually, no, just an Earth Power, honestly. But he goes for another Calm Mind, getting back to, now this point, +2, and he's still +6 in his special defense. We're just chipping him down. Chip him down. And I can go for an Earth Power here. I believe is the first time I go for Earth Power, right? Please tell me this is the turn. And it is the turn. There we go. So Earth Power comes out. It's only doing 28% compared to 40-ish%, but I can just wear this thing down. That's all I have to do. Wear it down, wear it down, wear it down. At this point in time, he's got how much? He's got 5 Earthquakes left. We are turn 53, and guys, we go for Earth Power, and we crit him, and that, guys, is going to be the game. Honestly, there's nothing else he can do to me unless he crisps me with Metal Claw or Iron Tail. That's it. He goes to the Weavile. I'm assuming trying to do that. He's going to go for the Metal Claw. He's going to go for the Iron Tail. No, he goes for Triple Axle, gets 1 hit, gets 2 hits, gets 3 hits. None of them are crits, meaning we're going to have to get the KO, and it's going to be a 5-0 sweep with Diancie, guys. We end up putting in a ton of work. Diancie comes through for us. 57 turns, I believe the battle is, 56, something like that. Crazy long game against Dai. GG's to him, of course. I know the game is still playing, but it's kind of obvious we're +6 in our special attack, special defense, and +2 in our defense. We got this game on lock, especially now that his Como is the only mon he has left. It only has a fighting move. We have a ghost type still. Guys, we're set. This is great. We played fantastic. We're now sitting with a 3-1 record. We did amazing. I'm really happy with how we did this game, hoping for more games similar to this. But guys, if you guys enjoyed this post-com, make sure to do me a favor, leave a like on the video. And of course, please guys, comment down below if you guys think I can do anything better to improve on the post-coms. I do try to watch these games in advance to make sure I'm not like saying stupidities. There are long games. There are some games that do go on for a while, and it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what I did while at the same time still being entertaining and educational. So I really appreciate if you guys just let me know some suggestions for post-coms that you want me to do, as well as the games on Showdown, of course, because it's on Showdown. It's not like an actual footage, but what are you going to do, guys? Yeah, so we are on the road for 2,000 subscribers, guys, and we are 3-1 in the BBR. We are, 3-1 in NCP as well at this point in time. We have week 5 going up tomorrow, so things are looking good, except for in BBL. Don't look at BBL. That's BBL. We are sucking there, but it's okay. I can tell you guys, I'm really enjoying making content lately. I'm really disappointed that I have to do it this way. My PC is on the way. I am just missing my CPU right now, and then I can start building it, meaning I can record in 1080p, which would be amazing. And yeah, look, I'm happy. I'm excited. I can't wait for this. Guys, if you have not joined the Ocean, make sure to do so by subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what plays you would have done differently in this game from me, and we'll have a discussion in the comments. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.